So today, probably looking at shoulders, move on to log, and then if I've got time, probably hit some stones. It's been weeks and weeks and weeks until I've hit something proper. With Christmas, New Year, I've got 2 young kids, so they've been off. So my training's just been kind of down the pan. I'm hoping, give it another 2-3 weeks, I'll kind of be back up to the levels that I was. I'm having to take a couple of peptides just to ease up some injuries that I've got. So hopefully, like, fingers crossed, bit of time, I'll be back to the old me, the old standard. So, but yeah, today probably do shoulders, strict press at the beginning, move on to 120 for some reps. And then if they're feeling all right, I might push it to say like 140 just for a single, maybe a double. Finish with that, go on to log. It'd be nice to hit say like a 130, 140 log. This is totally new log, so in here we've kind of got all our Strongman kit for now. So this is a 90 log, but it's 13 inch. I'm used to 12 inch log, so it's say. But yeah, we'll throw it on the pads and we'll get it going. And then through here, we've got a little stone platform. So I'll probably go from 100 to 140. And then, depending on how I'm feeling, we've got the 160 stone, but unfortunately, it's a bit dusty. So I'll just have to see if I can get a bit of dust off it. But still, we'll give it a go. We'll chuck it all on and we'll go from there. It's first thing in the morning.
Why have the trainers not been wearing rugby?
It's been more of the case of, because the kids have been off through Christmas time and stuff like that, very limited on what I can do. So beforehand, I was training 3 to 4 times a week. I used to do every Monday and Tuesday while the kids were in school, and then work every Saturday or Sunday, or hopefully both. But while the kids have been off school, obviously just trying to juggle them off, my free time, and it's just ended up being like 1 day a week if I could. And even that's been a bit of a rush. Also like injuries, because I've been relaxing and taking it easy, eating crap, I feel like my injuries have kind of like played up a bit. Bad tennis elbow, knees are shot, back's buggered, shoulders hurting again. So I think a bit more time to get back into it. Hopefully I'll pick up all my weight and I can improve a bit more. I've got quite a bit planned this year. I've hopefully got a couple of competitions coming up. I've got the Welsh qualifier as well. So I'll have more things to target towards. I kind of hated doing it at the past, having targets, but the last couple of months I've slowly got back into it again. So I tried to do deadlifts every week, but it was just didn't work out well. I just struggled. So I think a little bit of time just to get a bit more into a regime of training every week, keeping it more scheduled, keeping it a bit more of a good pattern. They'll do this week, do that next week. Hopefully the weights will jump back up again. It won't take too long. Last thing I want to do is wait and take my time and then get to the Welsh and be like, oh shit, you know, I'm not where I want to be. I've got 6 months now to really cram it in, get as much recovery as I can done, as much of the weight side of it as I can, get my nutrition back on track. It should be enough time, hopefully.
When you're getting these kind of slumps, like, what's the best way to get out of it?
Consistency. Keeping a good pattern. Like I said, with me dropping out my pattern, I've dropped off my schedule and that's pushed me back. So hopefully if I can get back onto a good schedule and a good regime of what I normally do, hopefully it'll bring it all back. But yeah, consistency is the main thing. If you're not consistent, then you'll have one good week, one bad week, that equals up to nothing. You have to have good week after good week after good week. The odd bad week isn't too bad. It's when you have consistent bad weeks. You're not going forwards, you're kind of going backwards on yourself, which, you know, it does happen, but it's just one of those things. It's down to you to get out of it rather than, you know, hoping it will fix itself, because it really doesn't fix itself. The only person that can solve an issue is yourself. So if you know your diet's off or your food's off, fix it. If you know your training's off, fix it, change it up, because no one else is going to do it for you. So, but yeah, so we'll go for this now. We'll go for 60 kilo, just some strict press. Then we'll go on to 100 kilo strict press. And then we'll try 120 just for 2 or 3 push presses. And then if that's moved all right, I'll probably go for a 140, just get a final push before log. Good. I'm not as tight as I thought it was going to be. That's the one thing I kind of do worry about is tightness. I've had some nasty pulls before when I've kind of worked through a tight period where like, oh, my arms are feeling a bit tight or my shoulders feeling a bit tight, and I've pushed through it and I've really pulled it. So I'm always a bit wary when it comes to things like that now. That's why I try and wrap up the best I can, just to stop any injuries, but can't stop them all, unfortunately.
I'll talk a bit about working in security as well.
Yeah, so I think with my job, I'm very lucky because my job isn't exactly hard. Well, it can be depending on the situation that I'm put in. So like I work in a supermarket, just doing security, stopping shoplifters and stuff. So compared to someone working like on the shop floor, that gets quite tiring. You know, for me, it's not as bad. So I'm quite lucky, like I get to have my breaks when I need them. I can sit down when I want. It's not energy consuming. You know, if I've had a heavy session on say, like deadlifts or squats, I can chill and relax and I can rest my back, where if I was working like a physical labour job, it would, obviously you do a workout, you're still basically training as you're working, lifting things, moving things. So I think for my job in particular, I'm very, very lucky. But I do enjoy my job, the side of shoplifters and...
You got any, like, what's the crazy story, is it?
I've had all sorts. I've had someone jumping into a canal to try and get away from us. I've had people like pulling weapons out. I had a skull fracture from people nicking Jack Daniels bottles. Ended up walking out of the store with a piece of my skull in my hand, going to Wrexham Hospital and telling them. So, but yeah, no, I've had some shoplifting where it's been like hardly anything. I've had some where it's been in the thousands. I think the biggest theft I've ever stopped was 7,500. It was all on the back boot of the car. They'd gone around the whole of Chester stealing from loads of different shops. And unfortunately for them, I was the last shop that they stole from. So caught them. I think it was like 7.5 grand. It's the biggest haul that Cheshire Police have ever had in theft. But it's a good job. Can be a bit hairy at times, especially when you get the ones that are dead irate that are willing to bloody stab you over a bloody Mars bar. But at the same time, you know, it's an enjoyable job, especially when you get into some feuds. But yeah, no, I enjoy it. I enjoy the side of like dealing with customers, and you can be helpful as well, and you see people happy and sorting them out. It's a nice feeling. As much as it's the bad side, it does have a good side as well.
People comment about exercise and stuff.
Yeah, so especially with like some of the shoplifters, they'll come in, they'll be like, nah, fuck that. And then you get some people going, oh, you're a big bastard and whatever else, which is nice because it does help. I'm not being funny. If you've seen someone that was like 10 stone wet trying to stop someone, they'll just push past them, where me, it's kind of a good deter to like see someone my size and go, fuck. A lot of people think I can't run either. That's me, oh, you can't chase after me, man. It's like, fuck it can. I'm quick when I want to be. But yeah, it's a good job, and you get a good rapport with the locals and stuff, and the certain shoplifters. You get to know them by name, and And that makes your job a bit easier because they won't bother coming in then. They'll kind of peer through the door and go, nah, not today. And then they'll bugger off. So, but yeah, no, it's good. And it's money at the end of the day. Shoplifting always going to be about, if there's something that could be stolen, there's always going to be a job in security. So, afterwards. So it'd be like a bit of a nice warm up to do like a smaller competition. Because it's not too heavy. I think like the heaviest log in it's like 130. Heaviest deadlift's like 300. So it's not like anything super heavy. It's not like 300 per reps or anything like that.
I feel better if you get in a rhythm like walking competition.
Yeah, so normally I just do the key competitions, but I think now that I'm getting a bit older and I need to like warm up to certain things, I'm going to start doing some more smaller competitions just to see where I am. You know, if I do shit in a smaller competition, then obviously I need to step up my game and push it a bit heavier and a bit harder for the bigger stuff. Kind of gives me a bit of an insight of where I'm at competing wise against other competitors, rather than just guesswork and thinking, oh, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And then when I get to the competition, I flag it all up and mess it up. At least this way I can say, well, I did crap in this, did good in this, right, I need to work at those two things. Hopefully it'll give a bit more insight to it, so. But yeah, but we'll press this now. I'll try for 5 strict on it with a reasonable rhythm, and then go from there. Probably go 120 push press, and then probably 140 for a single or double. Felt good. It's just getting used to it all again. So I stopped doing shoulder pressing for a while due to a rotary cuff problem. I damaged all here. Just couldn't move my shoulder properly. Did it on sandbags, the qualifiers last year for a sandbag, and just felt a click. And then ever since, it's just not been right. So I kind of avoided doing shoulder press for at least, Jesus Christ, well, since October time, maybe even earlier than that. So this is like relatively back into it. So to hit these sort of weights, I'm kind of like happy about it. It's better than what I could hope for anyway. I thought it was going to be a lot less. So like obviously 100 kilos strict press for 5. You know, I would like more. I used to press a lot more. I used to press this for like 12 to 15 reps strict. But now I can't do it. I hate to say it, but I can tell I'm getting older. When I started doing this at 22, 23, I was a lot better at it. You know, I could push for harder, for longer, you know, heavier. You know, I was pressing at that point 160, 165. But I think now I'll probably be struggling with like 140, 150. So I know in a lot of people's eyes, it's not a lot to lose. But with the competitors that I'm going against, 10 kilos is a shed ton.
It's purely a physical thing.
Yeah, it's just age. That's all it is just age. You know, I know a lot of people say, yeah, but age is just a number. It is, but you know, I've been going at this for 10 years now. 10 years of constant aches, pains, damaging, muscle tears, muscle ruptures, you know, just twists and aches. It just all adds up. And I think I'm getting to that point now where probably in the next year or two, I probably will end up stopping it, just for more of an aspect for myself. You see the likes of Ronnie Coleman where they're all battered and he's had to have tons of surgeries. You know, he pushed it to the limit and he went past the limit and now he can't go back. I'm at that point where, do I really want to push it that far? You know, it's just not going to benefit me. I'm not going to end up with contracts to go to the Arnolds to do talks. I'm not going to open my own brands and be a millionaire. So in terms of that, it's not worth it. You know, if I was good and I was at Giants Live and I was doing Britons, then yeah, I'd think about pushing it even further and, you know, getting your own merch and doing talks on podcasts and stuff and earning a living that way, doing coaching. But for me, it's just not worth it. I think my next line will be finish this and go into the coaching side of things and doing online PTing. Everyone does it, but the people that do it don't generally have any experience in it. And if they do, it's very limited because they've only done it for like a year or two. Where me, I've got 10 years behind me, multiple like low-level national comps, tons of wins and seconds and thirds behind me, and a bit of old school know-how. So I'm hoping that I can put that with a new qualification and I can start teaching people and getting people to where I wanted to be years ago. And that'll probably be my next stopping point for me. So, yeah, well, we'll do this now. I'll do 3 push presses with this, just so I can get into a rhythm. And then, as I said, I might chuck 140 on just to see where we go from there. Actually, bodybuilding's one thing, but your body's judged on other people's opinions. Where strength is strength, you can't judge it. You can't say it's not something. You know, that's 140 kilos. There's no doubt about that. You can't say it isn't. But if I got bigger and got big biceps, and you've got big arms, that's your perspective of it. It's not a fact. Like I might look at it and go, no, it's not that big at all. Same as like a billion other people might say, no, he's got small arms. And then a billion people might say, no, his arms are big. So I like with weight, it's a set weight. It is what it is. There's no questioning of it. Eddie Hall said exactly the same thing. You know, bodybuilding, someone's perspective and judgment. Weightlifting's fact, and you know, it is what it is. Numbers don't lie. So, yeah, I think once I've done this, I might go to bodybuilding. Well, not bodybuilding as such, but just looking a bit better. And I'll probably just wind down the weight. So like, I'll still deadlift, but maybe just deadlift us like 250, 260 for reps. Instead of squatting like 300 plus, go down to like 200 and just do rep work on that. Just try and save myself a little bit of ache and myself a little bit of damage control. Don't know how this is gonna feel. One or two ways. I'll go for the one. I'll save myself a log. Yeah, it was good. I'll save myself a log. And obviously COVID, everyone wanted weights. Yeah. So everyone bought them. And then all of a sudden, COVID finished. People didn't want their weights anymore. So people started selling them. Hello? You're not going. Oops, I'll leave that. I don't want to break it. So yeah, everyone started selling weight. So obviously the price per kilo started dropping. Now you can pick up a new set of 20s for like 20 quid. I think these ones are actually off Amazon, I think. Yeah. I think, don't quote me on that. I think we were looking at it everywhere. A lot of the stuff that's come has been from Gym Factory, I think. Some factory website, really good. They do really cheap stuff, but good quality. So.
Is this place going to be open forever?
Yeah, so there'll be memberships, and obviously you'll have to sign up and things. You'll get your own fob to get in, and there's a keypad as well. But then it'll be 24 hours, and you just come and go as you please. Obviously, it's more of a niche gym. It's more for like weightlifting, powerlifting, strength sports. But then obviously we've got to have a couple of machines, so you can do basically everything. It's more of a case of your knowledge behind it rather than having a machine tell you what to do. You know, do a fucking shoulder press. You sit in this machine and do that. You do shoulder press in here, but obviously it'll be with barbells, dumbbells, that sort of thing. So it's a bit more of a step back in time, more of an old school approach rather than sitting on a machine and letting that do all the work. So yeah, it's going to be a good little gym once it's all up and running. It's going to take a bit of time. Rome wasn't built in a day, but it's getting there. Like this half of the gym kind of shows like the sort of aspect we're looking for and the sort of the look it's going for. And this isn't even quarter of it done. It's, you know, all the walls are going to be done, all the rest of the flooring is going to be put in. We're going to have a wall full of all the trophies, t-shirts. Then we're going to have a £1,000 club wall. That's all going to be on there. All the tracks coming in. We're going to have a room for the women with another load of racks. We're going to have a functional room where it's going to be like a couple of machines, cables, treadmill, bike. So it's all going to come together. It's just a nice little small gym, which I think will do quite well because it becomes more of a family community rather than you go there because everyone else goes there. This will be because you fit in. You know, you're welcomed here. It's your own. You know, it doesn't matter if you're doing something light, something heavy. Everyone's going to have the same goal in here. So if I'm squatting 300 and someone's squatting 100, the outcome's still the same. We're both going to have an amazing gym session and everyone's going to work towards the same goal, getting stronger and better and more efficient being of themselves. So it's going to be a good one. It really is going to be good. So is a 13, well, normally 12 to 13 inch. You can get 10 inch, but they're just fucking awkward to have. Central handle, so you'll sit down with it into your lap, roll it up onto the chest and then press above your head and put your head through to get the full rep. Mainly first ever done in 1981, where it was literally just a log with some handles fucking screwed into it. But ever since then, it's adapted, got better metal logs. The first time I ever watched it mainly was, I think it was in 2009, where they had a log ladder. It went from 100 to 150, quickest time possible. I think now they start off at 150 and work up to like 200 or 180. So over the time, it has changed, it has adapted. There's loads of variants. You have metal logs, you have wooden logs. There is a fair difference. Wooden, you can never fully get the right weight because obviously it's not made all the same. If you've got a knot in a log and it's heavier one side than it is the other, they take in water, they absorb water, so it gets a bit heavier, only by a couple of kilos, but that couple of kilos can make a difference because when it dries out, it can go less. But it's smoother to roll. Where a metal log, it's harder to roll personally, but the weight's always the same. It's always the same dimensions all the way through. It's even weighted, so there's, you know, it's 40 kilos for some side, 40 kilos the other. You know exactly what you're pressing, so there's never an imbalance. But yeah, no, log's brilliant. I've always enjoyed the log press. It's just something that you once you've got the knack of it, you can just keep going and going. But it's a fun event in a sense. So. Oh, that's heavy to say. Yeah, so it's a 90 kilo log, 13 inch diameter, slippy as hell. But it's probably the only thing with using a metal log, it does slip, which you can get a thing called grippy tops or grip top. Basically, it's like loads of rubber dots all over the t-shirt, which helps you stick to it. But I find they get in the way because you roll the log up and then your shirt starts crimpling up and it's just not a nice feeling. So, and plus when you go into certain competitions, they don't always let you wear the grip tops. So you can be training with a grip top for 6 months straight, get to your competition, can't wear it. There you go, then you've just wasted 6 months of learning to do something with a different apparatus. Similar to the suit with deadlifts, load of people deadlift with suits, and it's fine, deadlift with a suit, but also deadlift without the suit, because a lot of competitions won't let you use suits. So there's no point being like a 280 kilo puller in a suit, but then when you take the suit off, you can only pull like 250. It's pointless training like that, because you'll end up going into half the competitions not being able to make the weight. So train how you would in a competition. It's the best way. That way you're never going to fail it. So yeah, it felt good. Felt good. We'll go up to, I'll put a 5 kilo one now. Actually, you know what, I'll go straight to 130. That felt good enough. We'll go to 130 for a single. And then if that works out well, we'll go up to 140 and hopefully push that. If it doesn't, it's not a big deal. It's only the second time doing lock since September. So with the lack of shoulder pressing and not doing this since September time last year, I'm happy with 130, 140, something I can increase up to and do a little bit better in the future. And then we'll jump onto stones and go from there. See how they rock and roll. Get some stones done now. I'm going to try something new with stones as well, which I don't normally do. So I wrap my arm in tape, duct tape, just to stop the pain of fucking ripping it off my skin with the tacky. But I bought some kinetic tape to go around my arms for muscle injuries. I've seen quite a few people using it. Don't know if it's going to be better, don't know if it's going to be worse. Apparently the texture of it's good, and obviously the stickiness, it's designed to stay on. So I'm going to give that a go. Let's see how that feels. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it does, it's my new go-to. The thing is, I've got to fucking take this off later.
What, your head off?
See, normally I get tape and just tape it over, but see how much freedom I've got on this? Yeah. It's a lot better, but I don't know if it'll work. But I was trying to get the tape, like the long tape, but this is fucking in strips. So I don't know how this is gonna work. I can't even get this off. I might just resort back to tape at this rate.
That's gonna hurt, take it off.
It's better than tacky, trust me, because when tacky goes on your arm, it fucking hurts getting it off. Well, actually no, that's a lie. The tacky itself doesn't hurt, but fucking when it's ripping your skin off on the stones, that's when it hurts. Pine sap, a pine resin. So when it's in the cold, you can see how brittle it is. When it warms off, like you see in my hands now, it's starting to go a bit softer, more malleable, so we can stick it everywhere we need to. Yeah, that's not working. Oh no. So it pulls on your skin, so your skin underneath starts pulling, but we'll give it a go. It's really dusty. No, it's too dusty. So there's nothing sticking to it. Right. It's because it's just covered in dust. got nothing to grip onto. Oh well, they just need a good clean. Yeah, it happens though. Obviously, dust is everywhere at the moment in here, so obviously it settles, and then it's just hard to get it off. So once we're all done and dusted, we'll probably get them all jet washed, get them all off. But even like that now, that should be like this, where it's like glue like that. I can get it off quite easily. It's just dust build up, so don't know if it's worth getting the tape out, doing a quick tape up, because with tape I might be able to grip it a little bit better, squeeze a little bit harder. It's a bit better, but yeah, it's just dust. It happens. I mean, over here you can just see where we've been rolling it, the amount of dust that comes off it, the amount of bits and grit and stones. It's just one of them. And once this place is done and it's cleaned and there's no more wood cutting, there's no more dust, you know, we can give these a good spray down, polish them over, they'll be good to go, you know. But it's just things like this. Obviously there's chunks of rubber and things, and you know, could possibly get the 160 stone out, give it a go, tack you up a bit more, but don't know. Actually, you know what, we'll get the 60 stone out, we'll have a play. If it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. No, it's too dusty. I thought I had that in my arms then as well. It's slipping off. Come on, let's get this done. Let's get this done. Just slipped off. As soon as it's into my knee, I'll be all right. Come on, grip. No, it's just not. It's taking the tape off. Oh well. Yeah, that's good enough. Yeah, it's making holes in the tape, but that's fine. It'll be something in the future to do again. My best stone's 185, so yeah, it's just getting used to it again. You know, it's like I said, once they're all cleaned up, it'll be all right. But happy 140 went up at least, and it went up smoothly as well. There was no issues with it, so yeah, it was good. Just clean up now, chuck the stones away, and call it a day.